No YouTubers out there really talk about condensation. Van build sometimes, not the truck bed build guys. So there's no real information to kind of get how do you battle the condensation issues. On today's episode, we're gonna deal with truck or van condensation issues, and I'm gonna do some painting to deal with the wood here in off-season, in cold weather, constantly getting moist. So what I got here is paint bucket, which is walnut color for exterior wood stain protectant. I'm gonna have endoskeleton built inside my truck here in either 2 weeks or in a month time, because I'm going on a trip, so it's going to be before or after a fabrication shop will do it for me, because I lost my roof rack in Mexico and all that set up, side lights, all that. There's going to be a metal frame here, 1 pillar, 2, 3, 4 inside, holes drilled, and there's going to be a big one solid platform piece sticking out to around here, so I can have my pod and other things here. And I think what I'm gonna do is another roof rack over here. So what I need to do now is empty all of this. Well, I would need to do it for fabricators to work here anyway. And this is actually what I noticed in the winter time. So the reason I'm doing it, the biggest reason, is when it's not summertime, fall, if you live up north, you get condensation here and moisture regardless. Like it's coming from a metal frame here. I even noticed on the side of the fridge, on the slider itself, there would be drops of water. That's why I'm hesitant to put the proper mattress in here, is because during cold season, things get wet. I had to dry things out. This here, the spots, discoloration, this is actually starting off molding process. Here you go, you can see it. And I had to take this sleeping bag and wash it several times, because I noticed this was happening. So when truck bed is closed up here and this one is closed, there would be holes here, the water can drip, but also moisture come in. So for that, I now have these pieces here to deal with the situation, to cover the hole. Also my sides of the truck, of course, have all kinds of lined material here to close any gaps, air coming in. So this part from window condensation here gets a little wet and it drips down to here. So a few weeks ago, before doing any of this, I actually sprayed all of this stuff with anti-mold substance. No YouTubers out there really talk about condensation. Van build sometimes, not the truck bed build guys. So there's no real information to kind of get how do you battle the condensation issues. I have some ideas. Well, one of them, of course, you need to paint your wood, whatever it is. This rug bed here, underneath it is actually a layer of reflectix. So that tip I got from van dweller build, kind of very insulated. There is no moisture coming in from holes inside the truck bed. Underneath I sealed everything, and on the sides here it's all sealed. But still, just in northern regions, if you don't live out there in the desert, if you're just storing it in the winter, after a while you get condensation and moisture, dampness. It's very hard to have anything cloth here to be a permanent setup that you can just leave any season and just go on, I don't know, some hot springs in the middle of winter. Usually everything's damp, not to high degree, but still. So this is the first step to protect the wood. I wish I've done it sooner, because obviously I can't get to all the nooks and crannies for painting my wood. When you build your truck bed, make sure you paint your wood right away. Don't do my mistake and do it later. I'll research a special paint. I'm sure there is something like this out there on the market that you can paint your metal over, or some kind of thermal liquid like paint, something so the cold metal isn't exposed basically. So the water doesn't drip down on it, doesn't accumulate as much. But seriously, if you're thinking van build, track build, if you're not gonna use it for a while, certain scenarios, for a week or two here and there, just prepare to battle humidity, just like RV guys basically, when we're winterized and all that stuff. And actually I do have 4 humidity kind of gel-like cones that I drop here when I'm not using it for a while, even in the summer right now. And I actually just took them home yesterday to vent out, you know, refresh. So once I'm done with this here, I'll just drop it around the truck. We do suck up some moisture, so that's one of the things you can do, but you can't do what RVers do. They do buy humidifiers, except they have so much power, electricity, all that stuff, and storage and space. They actually buy anywhere from this big dehumidifiers to all the way this big, from the floor to the waist. You know, on a truck build or a van build, it's too bulky. Even if you have several batteries and you can kind of work your magic, it's not an option. So portable, kind of small dehumidifier packs or gel cones, that's your best bet. All right, here are the things I'll have for the job. I have a scrubber. I'll probably scrub the wood first with it. Then of course the rollers, mask, some of these things, brushes, and one more brush. This should be enough. Oh, and of course must not forget all the tools. Well, actually really, I just need this set of screwdriver to undo this fridge here. This is my recovery section, this toolbox, some electrical stuff, handy thing. It's good I built this platform way back then. Speaking of mold, here's a good example. You see these dots? That was on the bottom over there somewhere. Dried out, but still at some point in the winter this was an issue. Holy, it's heavy. Well, it's time to clean this sucker up. Alright, this is dirty. I need to dust this off. Use like a grit paper. Actually, I have one. Make sure the wood is rough. No extra debris, none of that. But anyway, right now I need to empty out my pantry because I'm gonna paint everything inside as well. I still have some food from Mexico here. Toilet paper, zip-locked. Gotta do this. More toilet paper, zip-locked. This is the greatest tip. I don't know why I didn't come out with that before. I saw a van build video, and in that video the guy did exactly what I'm doing here. So you could store paper towels, all that kind of stuff over winter, off season when it's damp, and nothing's gonna happen to it. Actually, you should store anything like this, any fabric material, as much as you can in Ziplocs. Still have more stuff because I have side compartments here. Once I do the fabrication, I will install like a drawer system, not drawer, but like a little closet, and also kitchenware will be here. So these are extra storage spaces I got here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna be, because I still want to utilize them. That's quite a bit of space. But because I'll have stuff built here and like a wall here with pockets and stuff, not pockets but like little drawers thing you can swing out and store little stuff here. I still want to reach this bottom compartment somehow, so maybe I'll do like a little cutout section here with tiny little drawers, so you can still squeeze your hand in and put like a can or whatever it is you want to put in there. Speakers, not headlamp, lantern lamp. I'm gonna get rid of. Actually, I'll put it in storage because I don't use these suckers anymore. They require the D batteries, 3 of them. They're expensive. You constantly burn out. Now I use those Lumiaid inflatable lamps, USB chargeable. I can go and solar chargeable. So hot day you can put them out, or if you're willing, just plug into your USB ports. You're done. You can have like 5 of those. They stack up, deflated. Like the amount of space this takes, I could have like 3 big Lumiaids packed lamps, and they're light. You can hang on branches. Anyway, this is junk now. Stone Age basically. The lamp like this. All right, sanitizers. This compartment here is actually my sweet tooth pantry. This is where I store chocolates, Twix, more chocolates, candies. Because it's so close by, like I'm sitting here watching a movie in the evening, let's say if I'm solo, locked up, cook around here, whatever, reach around here, and I got all my cookies and all kinds of stuff. So there are more D batteries for this guy, but I'll remove all that at this point. Don't need it. Skittles. Whew, that's lots of stuff to store somewhere temporarily, I guess. I gotta empty out the side compartments for sure, because moisture does get in here. This is where I store all my butane tanks, propane tanks. Usually I can store about 3 or 4 butane tanks and 2 propane ones in each section here. So there we go, propane tank. And because I wrap it so when car shakes off-road, so they don't bump into each other, the cans, I wrap it in a towel. After a while, these paper towels, they get wet from moisture and all that, and it keeps accumulating. So I have some rusty kind of spots there, and you can see here. So this is all the molding I was talking about, although I kind of killed it already. I sprayed that anti-mold solution. Not so much on that side, but that's because the fridge is here, and even when it's unplugged, because it's metal, raw metal, in later colder conditions, it just keeps on having little drips on it accumulate somehow from somewhere. So it's that area, plus where I cook. Generally, some condensation area is basically dripping from side here. Thing is, I'm not concerned about these middle drawers here. The moisture never gets in here, like never. It's always been absolutely dry. I don't know where to relocate all this stuff. Food jar, land anchor, air compressor. This is more sealant stuff I was gonna do around the canopy. Recovery strap. Oh yeah, this video is sponsored by your local craft beer. You can't do this kind of job without a beer. You have to have it. And usually they measure this kind of work in amounts of beers. I'm still in the first one. Oh man, it's not until you start cleaning out the space you realize just how much stuff you have, how much stuff this thing actually holds. So that's great to know. That means a whole lot is stored, the heavy stuff is stored down below. Like I just took out land anchor, I forgot how heavy it is. It's like, I was like, oh, it's huge weight. But it's all sitting here, like up top I just had like light stuff, chairs, blah, all that, few canisters. All my heavy heating stuff, instruments, everything, shackles, metal is over here, making it stable, build. Everything's down below. Undated grit paper. Ideally, they recommend on the bucket there on the paint to have 60 to 80 grit paper and just scrub your wood. Alright, time to unpack this guy and see what what we got. Where's my knife? I don't have all my tools now, they're all inside. It's gonna take a while to dry. I should have started this earlier today. I didn't expect how long it's gonna take me to unload all my junk before I can actually start painting. Alright, this is done. I'm just gonna have to wait a little bit for my drawers to dry up. They're standing outside over there in the front of the truck. But this is done. I'm just gonna have to hang out here for about maybe an hour, wait for this to dry a little bit here, clean all this stuff up. I need to take a deep bath. I'm like in paint all over the place. So next episode, well, next vlog rather, will be, I think, once they install the ender frame. So anywhere from 2 weeks from now to about a month, but actually it's gonna take them a week. I'm gonna have to leave the truck in their place for a whole freaking week. That's how long it's gonna take. Cause yeah, you can just build the ender frame and slap canopy on top, because the grooves here, it needs to be sandwiched together with whatever they fabricate. So this was the prep for the off-season times, the spring, fall, winter. From now on, even if there is a little bit of moisture, at least my wood is going to be protected. And I'll see if I can figure out some more ways of how to deal with condensation and humidity and all that kind of stuff. See you guys later. Well, I hope you liked this episode, and if you did, you can support me by hitting the like button and subscribe, and also check out my previous videos by hitting the links below or just after this video.